In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on October 25th, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Atlanta Hawks versus Charlotte Hornets. As the NBA season gets underway, all eyes turn to the Spectrum Center on Wednesday night for the clash between the Atlanta Hawks and the Charlotte Hornets. Both teams had their fair share of ups and downs during the 2022-2023 season and have made significant changes to their rosters to bolster their performance. This game marks the only meeting between these two teams until Valentine's Day, making it an intriguing matchup. The Atlanta Hawks, who won 41 games last season, clinched a postseason spot for the third consecutive year. Now, they usher in the Quinn Snyder era, having made a significant change by trading John Collins to Utah. The key additions to their roster include experienced leaders in Patty Mills and Wesley Matthews. The Hawks are banking on the backcourt duo of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray for his second year, while more responsibility falls on the shoulders of De'Aaron Hunter and Saddiq Bey with Collins' departure. Clint Capela, often underrated, remains a force in the paint. With a coach providing stability and an array of intriguing players, the Hawks have the potential for improvement, although depth may pose a challenge for them to take the next step. The Charlotte Hornets, who won 27 games last season, are still seeking their first playoff appearance since the 2015-2016 season. Coach Steve Clifford returns for his second season in his second stint with the team. The Hornets bid farewell to Kelly Albert Jr. and Dennis Smith and drafted Brandon Miller with the second overall pick, taking a chance on Frank Ntilikina. Immediate success from Miller would be a boon for the Hornets, given his evident talent. While LaMelo Ball is highly skilled, he can't carry the squad single-handedly. Players like Terry Rozier, P.J. Washington, and Gordon Hayward are fairly established in their roles. Miller's development will likely determine the Hornets' season and future. The Atlanta Hawks have had a full offseason to prepare with the Trae Young and DeJounte Murray backcourt, both coming off strong seasons and poised to start strongly. On the other hand, LaMelo Ball, who played in only 36 games last season, may require some time to readjust to the court. DeJounte Murray, known for his defensive prowess, can be deployed to lock down either Ball or Rozier when needed. Brandon Miller is set to make his NBA debut, but he'll face a challenge scoring against the Hawks' frontcourt, featuring Clint Capela and Onyeka Okongwu. With a more experienced roster, the Atlanta Hawks should secure victory in this game. While the NBA debut of Brandon Miller is uncertain, the Hornets are grappling with several injuries that could impact the game's outcome. The combination of Trae Young and DeJounte Murray is expected to limit Brandon Miller and LaMelo Ball. The Charlotte Hornets didn't make enough moves during the offseason to appear promising, and they're likely in for another challenging season. The Atlanta Hawks, though inconsistent at times, need to win games like these if they want to make an impact this season. There's little room for excuses, and the Hawks were the superior team last season. The young Hornets are unlikely to be ready to secure a win on opening night. Given the considerable talent gap, the game is expected to be closely contested, so the Atlanta Hawks money line is our full game side pick. While both teams played at a fast pace last season, it doesn't necessarily translate into a high-scoring game here. The Hornets ranked 8th in pace of play but only 27th in scoring, highlighting that a fast pace doesn't guarantee high scoring. Building chemistry between LaMelo and Brandon Miller will take time, and the Hornets may not put up high-scoring numbers in the season opener. The Atlanta front office bolstered the defensive aspects of their roster, recognizing that Trae Young isn't known for his defensive prowess. Players like DeJounte Murray, De'Aaron Hunter, Onyeka Okongwu, and Clint Capela are all above-average defenders and match up favorably against this rebuilding Charlotte team. Trust in Atlanta's defense in a matchup against Charlotte, which is essentially starting from scratch. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Wizards versus Indiana Pacers. The NBA season tips off with a face-off between the Washington Wizards and the Indiana Pacers at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Wizards have undergone substantial changes, parting ways with Bradley Beal, while the Pacers aim to improve their chances following last season's play-in tournament disappointment. With neither team carrying high expectations, this Eastern Conference clash to kick off the season promises to be intriguing. The Washington Wizards have recorded 35 wins in each of the past 2 seasons and are now entering their 3rd year under coach Wes Unseld. The Wizards have embarked on a youth movement after the departure of Bradley Beal. While they may not be expected to contend for a playoff spot this season, they have the potential to be an entertaining team to watch. Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma leading the starting lineup add an element of excitement. Both of these players have the capability to catch fire and put on a dazzling show, a prospect that should excite Washington fans. There's a distinction between being bad and being both bad and fun, and the Wizards have an opportunity to fall into the latter category, particularly with veteran point guard Tyus Jones on board. The Wizards haven't reached the 40-win mark since the 2017-2018 season. The Indiana Pacers secured 35 wins last year and are now in their 3rd year under coach Rick Carlisle. The Pacers have failed to make the playoffs since the 2019-2020 season. To end this postseason drought, the Pacers have brought in Bruce Brown and Obi Toppin. Tyrese Halliburton is coming off a career-best season and is emerging as a promising young star in the guard position, while Miles Turner continues to be a productive big man. The question revolves around the future of Buddy Hield and whether he will indeed be traded. The Pacers have solid pieces in place, but it's a valid concern if it's sufficient in an Eastern Conference that has grown increasingly competitive over the years. Both the Pacers and Wizards finished last season with identical records. Despite both teams undergoing a rebuilding phase, the Wizards appear to have an edge in talent, with Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole leading the charge. They ranked 20th in the league in scoring last season and also displayed efficiency on the boards. In contrast, the Pacers struggled with rebounding, ranking as one of the worst teams in the league, and they allowed their opponents to shoot over 48% from the field, resulting in the 2nd highest points conceded. Their offseason moves didn't address these defensive concerns, making it challenging for them to contain the Wizards. The Wizards had their share of problems last season, but they demonstrated defensive prowess, closing the season with the 17th ranked defense in terms of points allowed. While they lost a key defensive contributor in Kristaps Porzingis, they still have several strong defenders and drafted Bilal Coulibaly, known for his defensive capabilities, with their 1st-round pick. Although Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner can provide offensive firepower, their carelessness with the ball and lack of improvements in defense raise questions. Despite being favored to win this game, the Pacers' offseason moves have not convinced me that they will dominate many teams this season. Despite both the Washington Wizards and Indiana Pacers going through a rebuilding phase, the Wizards seem to have an offensive advantage. The Wizards averaged 113 points per game last season and added Jordan Poole to bolster their scoring options. Conversely, the Pacers allowed an alarming 119.5 points on average, exposing their defensive vulnerabilities. Furthermore, the Wizards have emerged victorious in 6 of their last 10 meetings with the Pacers. The Indiana Pacers may be the more well-rounded and deeper team and could be considered favorites. However, the Wizards, despite the absence of star power, boast offensive talents capable of making an impact, which makes them an appealing choice as underdogs. In a season opener, a 7-point spread seems quite large, so the Washington Wizards to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The Washington Wizards averaged 113 points per game last season and 112 points per game on the road. In their previous 3 encounters with the Pacers, they scored an average of 118 points per game. The Pacers had a respectable average of 116 points per game last season, including 119 points per game at home, and in their last 3 meetings with the Wizards, they averaged 120 points per game. Considering Washington's defensive struggles on the road last season, where they allowed more than 114 points per game and lost their best defender, this game is expected to see both teams scoring over 110 points. There has been a trend of high-scoring games in their recent head-to-head matchups, with 7 of their last 10 games going over the projected total. This history further supports the likelihood of a high-scoring game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Boston Celtics versus New York Knicks. The NBA season kicks off with an exciting clash as the Boston Celtics hit the road to face the New York Knicks on October 25th. Boston has made significant changes during the offseason, adding key piece Kristaps Porzingis in their quest for a run at the NBA Finals this season. Meanwhile, the Knicks returned their core lineup that took them to the Eastern Conference semifinals last season. Expect a gritty, defensive-minded game to open the season. The Boston Celtics are hungry to embark on another deep playoff run, aiming to erase the memories of coming up short in a 7-game series in the Eastern Conference Finals last season. In the offseason, the Celtics orchestrated several moves, parting ways with Marcus Smart and Grant Williams, while acquiring the talents of Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday. The Celtics were already considered one of the top contenders in the Eastern Conference, and with the addition of Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis strengthening the starting lineup, they appear poised for a championship run. Aside from the Milwaukee Bucks, the Celtics stand out as the team to beat in the East. On the other side, the New York Knicks maintained relative calm in the offseason, focusing on building upon their previous season's success. They powered through the first round, ousting the Cleveland Cavaliers, only to be eliminated by the Miami Heat. While the Knicks didn't make any major roster changes, they secured Jalen Brunson's services with a 4-year deal, leaving the door open to potentially attract a star player and take another step forward. The Knicks will continue to rely on players like R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and Julius Randle in their quest for a deep postseason run, with hopes that this could be the year their group finally breaks through. Despite the optimism in Boston, the Celtics possess a seasoned roster with few apparent weaknesses. However, with the recent acquisitions of Porzingis and Holiday in the offseason, they'll require time to build cohesion. This isn't the same squad that reached the NBA Finals a couple of seasons ago, and I anticipate this will be evident as they take the court at Madison Square Garden on Wednesday. The Knicks, conversely, will unveil a familiar starting lineup in their season opener. Their only offseason addition, DiVincenzo, strengthens their core further. While New York may not harbor legitimate championship ambitions, it has the ability to compete with one of the Eastern Conference's elite teams in front of their home crowd on opening night. They'll emphasize strong defensive play, tenacious rebounding, and present a formidable challenge to Boston. The Boston Celtics boast superior top-end talent, which may be enough to give them an edge. However, the Celtics have many new pieces, and the adjustment period could take some time. The New York Knicks essentially remain the same group as last year, a resilient, hard-nosed unit eager to prove themselves. At Madison Square Garden, the Knicks will enjoy strong support from their fans, aiming for a strong season start. Furthermore, the Knicks have secured 3 consecutive victories against the Celtics, suggesting a closely contested, hard-fought battle. So the New York Knicks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. It might appear that both rosters are capable of generating points with ease, but it's important to note that they both ranked in the top third of the league in defensive performance last season. They excelled in rebounding as well. Consequently, second chance points will be at a premium, and possessions will take longer to develop, translating to fewer trips down the court. Anticipate a hard-fought game with moments of slugfest-like intensity, leading to the under-hitting in this matchup. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.